All right. Hey friends, welcome back to another video. It has been, what, almost 6 months since I posted my last one. Maybe less, maybe 5 months. Anyway, lots has happened since then, which I'm gonna go into detail about, but I thought we would just give kind of an update, especially since June 30th just passed, and that is Arthrogryposis Awareness Day. So let's start with updates on my son, my sweet, sweet son. Okay, we got a new walker. I'll throw in a clip here of him walking. Come this way. Hey, go this way. Going pretty fast. Yeah. The walker works great. We're happy with it. We really like it. Unfortunately, our house is just really small for that walker. So if we want to use it, we do have to go outside, which works fine. It just requires us actually getting out. And this week it's a scorcher. It's like really hot. So the only time we get outside is to sit in the kiddie pool and cool off. As you saw in one of my last videos, he had his eye surgery, and thus far that is going really, really well. His recovery was like perfect, and the doctor said that his eye looked really good, and as of right now we will not be seeing her until he needs his next surgery, which the ophthalmologist in Prince George doesn't think will be for quite a while, because his eye is doing really good and they just want to see what his vision's going to do from here. So as of right now, that's just on hold and everything's really good with his eye. Still not walking on his own, unfortunately. We find that his club foot's actually getting stiff. So we're pretty set on when he's out walking, like if we go somewhere that his braces and his shoes are on, so that his foot is getting that stretch and then stays flat, because you know, one's curving, the other one's overcompensating. So they're both not doing all that great, and we really need his feet to go flat and actually do what they're meant to do. But an interesting thought, recently I've heard that people with arthrogryposis actually have chronic pain. And lately Connor has been saying, you know, his back hurts, or his leg hurts, or his knee hurts, or his foot hurts. And so we're wondering if he's starting to get that common AMC chronic pain. And that's something that I want to bring up with his physical therapist and occupational therapist, who I'm seeing next week. And then I also want to bring it up with his pediatrician. And hopefully there's something we can do about that to help manage it, because it'd be really unfortunate if my 4-year-old is already dealing with chronic pain. Still not eating properly. We're still mincing his food. We're still, you know, all that. Nothing has really changed in that aspect. But on a different note, like without talking about AMC, that boy adores his sister like you wouldn't believe. Those two are two peas in a pod. She has been such a blessing to this family and such an answer to our prayers. He really needed a sibling, and he got the perfect one, and I can't wait to watch them grow up together. They're so fun to watch, and honestly, I'll throw in a clip here. He's the only one that can make her giggle that way. It is the cutest thing ever. Like, I have multiple videos of him making her giggle, but I'll just throw up the one. But such a sweet combination of those two. They are just my pride and joy. I love them so much, and I can't wait to watch them grow up. On an entirely different note, so when Lily was 4 months old, Let's talk. Okay. Story time. Okay. If you follow me on Facebook or you know me personally, then you know what I'm about to talk about. So, story time. Lily's 4 months old. It actually goes back to when we were in Vancouver. So while we were in Vancouver for Connor's eye surgery, I got my first period back postpartum. And I was thrilled about this because then now I could start tracking my cycle and ovulation and all those things to, you know, avoid getting pregnant again, because we didn't want to get pregnant right away. And so I did that. And then a month later, you know, I was 2 days late. I figured that's not a big deal. Your period's never normal after having a baby, or it definitely wasn't after I had Connor. So I thought I would just take a pregnancy test to confirm that I wasn't. And while I'm at it, I will just play a prank on Brent. Well, folks, joke's on me. I peed on a stick and it came back positive. And so I immediately, this is a Saturday morning, I immediately ran downstairs. Brent was about to feed Connor breakfast and I grabbed his hand and pulled him into the other room. And I'm like, Brent, and I just showed him my stick and he looked at it and I'm like freaking out going, what are we going to do? I'm not ready to be pregnant again. What if I miscarry again? You know, all these different things that are running through my mind. And he goes, Jo, 1, we'll figure this out. It's gonna be okay. And 2, I kind of already figured you were. It doesn't really surprise me. Like, how does this not surprise you? It sure does surprise me. And he said, well, your mood the past week has kind of been off. And so when your mood is like that, it's usually your period's coming or you're pregnant. And I definitely thought you were pregnant because of how off it was. Well, he was right, because that week I thought I was getting like really late postpartum depression. Everything made me cry. I was just super emotional. I wasn't excited about anything. My kids weren't bringing me smiles, like nothing. I was just really depressed that week. And I guess, lo and behold, that is why. So that was in March, and then mid-April my nausea hit. And I was really, really, really sick. And I had to make a decision. I could either live through the morning sickness, which was debilitating. I was basically tied down to a couch. And it was either that while continuing to breastfeed Lily, which I really wanted to do, or take my nausea medication, which can potentially dry up your milk, and then switch over to formula. Well, I tried going, you know, just the natural way without taking my nausea meds. And I noticed my milk was fluctuating and Lily just wasn't getting enough. And she was constantly cranky and I was super sick. And with that, I couldn't cook. I couldn't be there for my kids. I was basically just there to feed and put her down. And that was depressing because I couldn't be a mom, I couldn't be a wife, and I couldn't be a friend. I was very, very sick. And so I made the hard decision to take the nausea medication, and it did end up drying up my milk. So I had to switch over to formula, which was very hard for me to do, but I did end up finding a really good clean brand called Little Oaks. It's a goat milk based formula, and she loves it. We are still using that. We're just in the stage 2 because she's older than 6 months now, and she still really, really likes it, even though I've been introducing her to solids now. But last week, so I'm 20 weeks pregnant today, so last week I decided to go off my nausea medication because we just couldn't afford to pay for it anymore, and I was sick all of last week, and I think now I'm finally back to feeling somewhat like myself. But really, I've basically been pregnant for 2 years with a 4-month break. And postpartum is rough anyway, so I've basically been pregnant now for 2 full years. So this little bundle of joy is actually due around the same time that Lily's first birthday. So if this one decides to come early at all, then we will have Irish twins. And if this baby does not decide to come early, then I will still have 2 babies, 1 and under, which will be quite the experience. But you know what? It's okay. I'm going to be tired. I know this. I'm going to be busy. I know this. And I don't know. Because we just went through it, it's still fairly fresh in my memory, especially labor and delivery. So that kind of freaks me out a little bit. But this pregnancy stayed viable basically because the moment we found out I talked to a doctor, we started me on progesterone, and for the second time, the progesterone has kept the pregnancy viable. So that's basically why we kept miscarrying all those times, is my body does not supply enough progesterone to keep baby and placenta alive in the first trimester. So Connor, nonetheless, is our miracle baby. We don't know how he survived, but we thank God that he did. And after we found out we were pregnant and the pregnancy was going to be viable, we realized, okay, well, 3 car seats aren't going to fit in our car. So we had to sell the car, and we now are proud minivan owners, and we love our van so much. It is so spacious. It is good on fuel mileage. It is just all around one of the best decisions that we have made financially, I think. It took a bit to get my husband on board with buying another vehicle, but once we found out that we were expecting number 3, we realized it was time. So we have a van. The car is gone, and like I said, we are proud, very proud van owners. But anyway, with this pregnancy, it has gone so incredibly smooth. Like I said, I'm 20 weeks today. It has gone so incredibly smooth. And I'm just like waiting for the ball to drop, like to get bad news or something, but yet nothing has happened. My iron levels are being stable, or are staying stable. My platelets are slowly dropping. That's pretty common, especially for I talked to a hematologist at the beginning of this pregnancy, and I do have something called ITP. I don't know what it stands for. I'll put it in the bottom of the screen here. But basically, it just means as my body is creating platelets, my immune system is destroying them. So that is that. And with that, when I was pregnant with Lily, I was put on prednisone to help increase my platelets prior to delivery, and it didn't work. And so the hematologist that I spoke to, she said technically when you're taking prednisone for steroids or for platelets increase, it goes by your weight. And so I was taking way too small of a dose for my weight. And plus, that method of treatment actually doesn't work in pregnant women. So all around, I was on steroids for nothing. I retained so much water for nothing. I gained so much weight for nothing. And I was miserable for nothing and hypertensive for nothing. All those things. That's okay. It won't happen this time around because now they're just going to leave it. They're going to let me just do my thing. And if my platelets drop below 50, then we're probably going to do what they call a blood plasma transfusion. And I'm okay with that. It just means that what the blood plasma transfusion does is it overwhelms my immune system. So my immune system starts attacking those antibodies, and that gives my platelets a chance to bulk up prior to delivery. And that would just be absolutely wonderful. So that's where we're at with that. I am attempting another VBAC because my first one was so incredibly successful. So I want to do that again. And the one thing that my doctors are concerned about is because I did become hypertensive with Lily, basically because I was on the steroids, they are concerned that I will become hypertensive again, and so I'm supposed to keep a close eye on my preeclampsia. But I personally don't think that's going to happen because I'm not on steroids this round. And so to prevent preeclampsia, you're supposed to be on a baby aspirin from weeks what did she say, 6 to 16 or something. And so I've basically missed my window for that because I was nervous to take aspirin due to my low platelets. And so we put it on hold, and now I'm realizing that I've missed my window, and it would have been safe as long as my platelets stayed above 50. That's okay. We've given it to the Lord. He's going to take care of it. He's going to provide. Whatever happens, happens. And we're just praying that between him and the doctors, this baby's gonna come out safely and I'm going to be safe and healthy, whether it be through blood transfusions, blood plasma transfusions, delivering early because of preeclampsia, or C-section. Whatever happens, all we want is this baby to come out safe and healthy, and me safe and healthy. So I don't have any birth plan this time. I have an idea of what to expect because now I've had a C-section and a normal delivery. So I know what to expect for both, and I know how to prepare for both. And so that's where we're at with that. But anyway, I don't want to sit here and visit too much because this is supposed to be just a coming back to YouTube video, giving you kind of an update on where our lives are at. And yeah, that is about it. So thank you for watching this spiel, and I appreciate you guys coming back and watching my videos, and I'm hoping to upload a day in the life here very soon because I really miss doing YouTube, and I will see you all in my next video. Goodbye, guys.